Earth was abandoned ages ago during the red giant expansion, now dimly lit by the ghost light of a dead white dwarf. It lies layered with eons of forgotten civilizations. From the warmth of the Martian reactor cities, scavengers hire illegal transportation to Earth to delve into the depths, looking for ancient treasures. There they must deal with ghosts, machines, and a strange life that has evolved on humankind's abandoned home planet. This evening, we're going to play a system called In the Light of a Ghost Star by Nate, and I'll probably mess up his last name, Treme, Treme. We're using part of his rules that he's come up with, and also going to test out some house rules in the game. And the basis of the adventure is our party works for an organization by the name of Sun Ghost Retrieval Corporation. They're one of the larger Martian corporations that hire these people to go to Earth and retrieve ancient artifacts, ancient treasures, and bring them back to Mars. It pays very well, as they've been on some before. I'll start out this evening. Yang, you are a scientist. Tell me about who you're playing, the scientist, and tell me about the ship that you were commandeering to get us back to Earth.
I'll be playing Dr. Dusty Rancher, who is a man who's no stranger to failure. He's middle-aged, conceited, cowardly, and whiny. He's terribly thin, and he wears an orange jumpsuit most of the time. He's got a little red hair goatee. He's completely bald, and he wears thick glasses. He's got a nasal voice. Basically, he has inherited some amount of wealth from his father, who was actually a capable person. And his fairly advanced spaceship is named Voltes 35. It's also equipped with ion cannon.
All right, perfect for Vidoc. Alex, tell me about who you're going to play and what they are specializing in.
I'm playing Robin Malkovich. She is a mercenary that has been freelancing for a while, but was persuaded to join the Red Ghost team. The previous adventures she went on might be deemed piracy, and she appreciates the protection that joining the Red Ghosts has offered her. She's a little bit no nonsense, but once you get to know her, underneath her hard, serious exterior, there's a harder, more serious interior.
All right, perfect. Daniel, who are you going to play in their specialty this evening?
I am playing Cindy Smith. She is an adventurer, an explorer. She's has a long family history that goes back thousands of years to Earth, where they raised cattle. So she thinks of herself kind of a little bit of a cowgirl, although there aren't cows on Mars.
Sounds good. Crystal, round us out and tell us about who you're going to play in their specialty, please.
I'm playing Dr. Harvell. He is also a scientist, but he's more serious about his science. He's a very meticulous, with short and a full beard, which he keeps very well trimmed. The workspace he's been out of the ship is very clean, well organized. Everything has a place. Just packing up the last bit of his supplies as he's fairly excited for this trip to Earth. So so he's getting his carry bag together, putting in his making sure that he has enough camera that he's taking to document the whole thing, the expedition that they're on. And yeah, that's he's that's my character, Sirius.
All right, perfect. As we round out the 4 who are being sent to Earth on this mission, we have 2 scientists, an explorer, and a fighter specialist. We'll go back and start with you, Dr. Harville, again, as you're on one of the reactor cities of Mars. Of course, being on call for the Sun Ghost Retrieval Corporation, they furnish you with a company pager to always get hold of you when they need something. So tell me about what you're doing on day to day as you receive the page to report for a new retrieval mission.
Yeah. So, I've already kind of been informed that I'd be heading down soon. So I'm like I said, I'm getting my last bags ready, and I'm taking a I don't have like smaller cameras that you could just like wear on your eye or something. But I'm actually taking one that's a little bit more fancy, one that you carry, because I want to make sure I get all of the wide angles and high def and everything. And a device starts beeping next to me, and I pick it up and go, why do they give us pagers? Why not just send me a text message? Oh, well, I'll never understand these corporate types. He takes the pager and he places it on his belt, and takes his phone, which just looks almost like a pane of glass, and slides that into his protect shirt, and he grabs his backpack and puts it on, like clicking it into place and everything, tightening up the shoulder straps, and begins to make his way down towards the pod area, where he needs to report to get a shuttle to Earth.
Sounds good. Daniel, what is Cindy doing day to day in the city as she receives a page for the new retrieval mission?
So Cindy is in her apartment, which is fairly small but luxurious. She likes to spend the money she makes pretty quickly. She's smoking an absurdly long cigarette and filing her nails.
All right. What about Robin, Alex? What is he doing, or does she doing as the page goes off?
She is fixing up her own ship. It's much smaller. It's not large enough for missions like this, and it can't handle re-entry onto Earth because Earth is dangerous. But she's fixing up her ship. She's working on it. The last thing she went on busted one of the engines, so she's trying to get that back and up and working. And then her pager goes off, and she looks at it, and she says, fuck, I'm not going to have time to finish this. So she gets up and starts heading over, leaving her engine completely open, knowing that no one's going to fuck with her stuff. So
Sounds good. Jan, what about Doc Dusty? What is he doing as he receives the page to go?
Doc Dusty has a little white fedora on, and he's wearing a creamy looking leisure suit. It's way too tight, and it's about 10 years older than what's in style currently. He turns over to the living room where 3 boys are lounging on their living room, and he yells at them, "You can watch whatever you want, drink whatever is in the fridge, but keep your hands off Cthulhu smoothie. You remember what happened last time. Now, Daddy has a date with Ms. Amples," and he looks to the boys and waves them goodbye as soon as the pager goes off, and he goes, "Oh, yep."
Perfect. As you four make to the rendezvous point where you always go to meet the contact from the corporation, you see the contact this day is Benjamin Cartwright. He's a very tall, lanky man you would think would be in his probably mid-30s. You would know that he specializes in science himself, but he seems like the way that he dresses and the way that he keeps himself, that he strives to be something else. He wears a very short military haircut, very clean shaven, a very fit physique. As you arrive, he sees you four come in and motions you over as they're preparing the ship, the Voltes 35, that Doc Dusty's well aware of how to operate. And he pulls out a pad and starts punching in some electronic stuff on it. And he says, well, this mission pays very well because it's for one of the larger corporations here in the cities, but this will probably be the easiest mission y'all have ever been on. All you've got to do is go to Earth. You're going to land just outside of what used to be New York City, is what they called it. And you've got to go and retrieve a collection of some old books for our client. I don't know how it could be any easier to you.
Well, it better be easier than last time when we had to track down the Tasmanian dire monkeys.
Nothing down on Earth is as easy as it looks like on paper.
Oh,
So,
a collection of ancient rare earth books. Well, my, this shall be exciting.
you see, Doc rolls his eyes as as the other scientist speaks.
Cindy leans in and says, how much does it pay?
Well, the mission that Dusty just mentioned, remember how well that paid?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one pays more.
Oh, alrighty then. Let's get to it, boys.
They really want these old dusty books, evidently.
Very well. Are you sure that there's nothing else that we should be worried about? No other intel on any dangers that await us?
Well, as you probably are quite aware as I am, there's always untold dangers that lurk on that abandoned planet, You never know what you're going to run into, but I would think this one would be pretty easy. And he starts handing you a pad, electronic tablet pad, Dr. Harville, and he says all the information is loaded here to map to get to the library that you need to go to. And, of course, we're going to load one of the Samsons up on the ship for y'all to use. And y'all would know the Samson is one of these big vehicles that y'all take that downloads off of the ship from where you land, the spaceship. And, it'll hold up to 6 people and has all your equipment in the back. It's pretty much a military type vehicle, but they always send one of these with y'all to get to your location and all that. So y'all will definitely have a Samson.
Oh, very nice. Is anyone here a good driver? Are able to drive these things very well?
Cindy's
mean by
reckless as
that?
fuck, but she's a pretty good driver.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then we shall let her drive then. I've tried driving one of these things. I didn't quite get the hang of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, boys and girls, don't expect me to drive. You know how that went last time.
Nobody expects you to drive. Doc.
Out of character. Like the back of this van, is it just like a seating area, or is there like a small, kind of sciencey station back there? You get what I mean?
Yeah, in the back, it would have electronic equipment and computer stuff that you can sync your tabs into and things like that. I mean, it wouldn't be any type of lab stuff really. It's more of a military vehicle, but it'd have communications and electronics and weapon storage racks and all that. It's not a complete science lab though.
Okay. Then Dr. Harvell will say, while you focus on driving, I'll get us all operating on the same secure network.
I prefer the network of just talking.
Well, I mean, of course, but just in case we get separated or something, it'd be good to keep.
If you say so, hon.
Well, we best talk in the ship. We better not be going there for Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, the 2003 edition. That was just terrible.
Okay.
Cartwright looks at you forward. He goes, well, and he kind of lowers his voice. He's a very kind of a booming voice, but he lowers his voice and he goes, well, any other artifacts you find on your mission, as always, bring them back. And we find some clients in the database that will pay for them. That'll be some extra spending money too, of course. And you four would know that, there's a lot of different range of different artifacts or treasures that there's a lot of, oh, wow, I lost my train of thought. There's a lot of, the corporation has a lot of clients that want all kind of different things, and you would know pretty much anything you find on Earth or something that you would deem to be valuable if you bring it back, that they can find a client for it.
Well, that sounds great. But if we find a nail dryer, I'm keeping it. And Cindy walks toward the ship.
Dusty, you gonna get the ship going?
Yeah, he's gonna, catch up to Cindy and then, take a few steps ahead of her and make sure that the door's open. He climbs on and
I'm gonna walk faster so that I get on before you.
Well, honey, you can't go in unless I press the button, and I'm the only one who knows the combination. And then he leans against the door, against the keypad and smirks.
I get really close to make him uncomfortable, so he types it wrong the first time.
And then he just punches in. All right, you can go now.
I'll finish my cigarette first, thanks. And then she lights a cigarette. He waits for us to get in.
Yeah, he starts coughing.
This cigarette is like probably about 18 inches long, and she's smoking it slowly.
So Doc goes in there.
Those are your
quickly
your. Go ahead, Jan.
And preps the ship. Yep. Go ahead, guys.
Dr. Harvell looks at Cindy and says, Miss Smith, those are terribly bad for your health. I would advise you to quit smoking immediately if you wish to have a longer life.
If you want to have a long life, I strongly advise you stop going to Earth.
Touche.
That's the attitude. Don't worry. I've heard that if you wash it down with this, it's totally fine. And she takes a little flask out and takes a shot.
I'm not sure what doctor told you that, but very well. I have a feeling it must have been Dr. Pepper.
Could have been.
Robin walks over to Cindy and reaches for, but not like a I'm taking it from you, but like a please give me some of her flask.
She readily offers it.
And she takes a little bit more than a shot and hands it back.
Oh, we're going to need more of this, I think. And then she goes inside while smoking the cigarette.
Doc Dusty, as you're preparing the ship, getting the onboard stuff going, the onboard computer comes on in a female voice and it goes, "Destination to Earth today. will take approximately 3 hours, 59 minutes, and 41 seconds.
I didn't hear that. He taps on the screen. Say it again.
Destination to Earth today will take approximately 3 hours, 59 minutes, 41 seconds.
Well, let's see. All right, cue the music and make sure that the gin cabinet is unlocked. And then he flips on a couple of switches and plots in the destination and walks back after turning on the autopilot.
Yeah, and as soon as you turn around and walk away, the onboard computer responds and goes, Doc Dusty, last request you advised the gin cabinet will be only open manually with the key that only you have.
Oh, yes, of course. And then he searches his body, his own pockets for the key, but he realizes that he left it at home. He curses to himself and says, ah, and returns to the cabin.
Yeah, as the ship starts taking off, Dr. Harville, you take the tablet that has all the information on the retrieval and looking through it during the trip from Mars back to Earth, this is what you find out. The map location shows that you're looking for a library called the Maston Marley Library of Tomes and Ancient Artifacts. This is where you're going into the old city of New York. And the information given is you're supposed to retrieve any and all books by an author by the name of Charles Dickens, and especially any original copies or old copies of a special book called A Christmas Carol. That is the book that you're looking for, especially. But of course, any of the books by him should be brought back also. You're muted, Crystal. I had to.
I understand. I don't really have much to say. Harvell is working on just setting up the unscation network for now with each other with their, I guess, radios or whatever when they get to Earth.
Yeah, everything's running smooth aboard the Votez 35. And sure enough, the ship breaks the atmosphere of the old planet known as Earth at the time, and you land outside the abandoned large city that used to be called New York. Your map there, as you're preparing to off the all-terrain vehicle to get into the city, tells you where you land at. It tells you the trip in there with it, with the Samson, will be approximately 7 minutes and 24 seconds to arrive into the interior of the city.
Should we just put the autopilot then? You prefer to handle this manually?
No, I'll drive.
Very well. I shall make sure that my camera feed is transferring to the local satellite relay so that the governing bodies will get clear video feed.
All right, sounds good to me. I'll sit down in the truck and rev her up.
Yeah, y'all proceed with the Samson, and when you start getting closer to the interior of the abandoned city, it starts giving you some alerts. Cindy showing there's a lot of obstacles in the way, but you're going to have to try to navigate around with this larger type vehicle. I mean, you can make them. You're just going to have to take your time and navigate around some abandoned structures and concrete barriers and just things that were left abandoned.
Gonna get bumpy, boys.
You would also know the weather. Just a moment. I'll get somebody to roll me a dice here. I'll get to the right sheet. Alex, roll me a d12.
Okie doke. There's a d12. 12.
Hey, that's a good one. You would know the temperature is showing about 60 to 62 degrees Fahrenheit today. And you notice there's just a perfect motion of clouds that are still up in the sky. I mean, it's a very partly cloudy, clear day with pretty good temperatures and stuff. It doesn't show any signs of any storms or anything that are coming, but you would also know that from previous trips that, storms can rapidly delve up and arrive soon. But yeah, it's a beautiful day right now.
All right, if it's nice out, I'm gonna take off my spacesuit and I just have like a bikini top and cut off shorts.
Okay.
So
yeah, y'all would know the atmosphere is still fairly breathable. I mean, it's not like it used to be, but yeah, you wouldn't. The only time you would ever need any type of breathing apparatus would be if one of these storms was to blow in, probably.
All right.
I'm gonna say that Dr. Harvell probably has not instead of a full spacesuit, it's just like a that would have goggles, protect his eyes as well.
Right.
But since he currently isn't, currently doesn't need it, it's just front of his backpack area or whatever. So he has easy access to it. But.
All right,
Robin
that's
is
perfect.
wearing full body armor.
Okay.
Top of the line 5 years ago. Now, not quite outdated, but 5 years old.
What about Doc Dusty? How are you going to be dressed?
Doc's going to be wearing his light spacesuit. It's got a little fishbowl helmet on it, and the typical, the retro-looking, spacesuit. But it's tighter around his belly and everything, so that it doesn't make him look really plump.
All right.
And he says to himself, "You don't know what kind of gas, what kind of strange gas and bacteria still haunt this atmosphere. Better make sure that we don't take any chances."
Yeah, the light body armor that my character does wear, it's more just kind of sort of like a flak jacket, I guess, or something. Well, not a flak jacket. Flak jacket would still be way too thick. It's just like a mesh kind of. It doesn't really you get what I'm saying. It doesn't really it's not real thick and bulky.
Yeah, it's more of a synthetic type vest that moves with you and all that.
Yeah, kind of like that.
As y'all have slowed down in the Samson, navigating the some of the obstacles of old abandoned vehicles and barriers that were put up and stuff. Cindy, make me an explorer roll.
All right, I'm going for it. Hold on. Yep. Okay. So this is. Do I get the +1 or?
Yeah, if that's your specialty, right?
Yep,
So yeah.
my specialty. I am an explorer. 7 + 1 is 8.
All right. You're driving along, and as you look out maybe one of the windows there of the Simpson. Like I say, there's a bunch of old vehicles that are abandoned, rusted, covered with all type of debris and stuff. But you notice a smaller vehicle that's kind of parked down one of the side streets. It's it's still fairly light. I mean, there's a dim light that radiates instead of a bright light during the day. But you notice a little smaller vehicle parked down one of the side alleys, and it appears to be a smaller. It's kind of like a Samson, but it's not as big as a Samson. It's more like a Hummer. What would be the HV Hummer or something? It's kind of like a Jeep, and you notice it parked over there, and you know that that's not something that would probably normally be here.
Okay. Is it between us and our destination?
No, you would have to go down one of the side streets and cut down a side street to actually get to it to see it. It's not on the main road where you're traveling.
All right. I'll slow and turn back to the group, and I'll say, looks like we've got some friends down here. Should we see what they're up to, or get these books and get home?
Well, if they're in trouble, I'm sure they'll reward us, and if they're not, it's always nice to say hello.
Well, it seems like we've been double booked here. Someone else must be trying to get a lower price on this.
I'm sorry, I kind of missed. Is it another vehicle like ours?
It's not
Is that-
quite. It's more like a Jeep or Hummer size. It's smaller than yours, but you can definitely tell it's not natural from an Earth vehicle.
Okay. All right. Well, you're the explorer here, Cindy, and Robin
really-
here is the group. I will bend to your expertise on this matter.
I'm going to turn really abruptly while he's still talking. You can go down the street.
Yeah, you pull up to it, and sure enough, once you get up there and see it closer, all four of you would recognize it as being a military vehicle from Mars itself. It's like I say, it's kind of like the Samson, but it's not quite as big and appears to be unoccupied.
What's the value of one of these things? I ask who people that might know.
That
Or
would
maybe
be either Dusty or Harville could make a scientist roll. And
Yeah,
I'll make a sign.
I got 8.
Oh well, you beat me.
tell them all about it, Doc Dusty.
Well, it's going to be about half the book. So if we were to retrieve our work by Charles Dickens, what a name. If we were to retrieve one of these books, it'll probably be about half of that value. And then he presses return key on the little calculator and makes ching noise.
Well, that sounds like it's worth checking out. And at that, I'm going to stop abruptly and leap out and grab my. I've got basically like an old west kind of cowboy belt with my phaser pistol that looks like a 6-shooter on it, and I put it
Okay.
on my hips.
While they're calculating how much it would be worth, my character would like to be kind of like checking like maybe check the hood and see like how hot it is and see maybe check the exhaust. I want to see if I can estimate how long this vehicle's been sitting here.
Yeah, make an explorer roll and let me know if you pass.
Oh, explorer. Okay. 3.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know as much about vehicles, of course, as some of the others. I mean, you would definitely know it's not been here a long time, but it's probably been here maybe at least a day or so. It's pretty much cool, but you're not for sure.
Okay. I'll say, judging by the exhaust smoke on the pipe here, I would say this has actually been sitting here for already. So whoever came here is at least a day ahead of us if we assume they're going after the same works.
So what's the time frame on scavenging? We have to it's 30 days, right? So I say we move this thing and we come back in 30 days and pick it up. I mean, assuming that they're not around. We wouldn't want to steal something.
Let's at least see that they're not around first.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I'm gonna look at it and see if I can start it if I need to. Is there keys in it or anything?
Yeah, well, yeah. If you're trying to look at, make me another explorer roll.
Oh yeah, I'll walk right up to it. That time I rolled an 8, so 9. I like that die.
Yeah, the first thing as soon as you start looking, maybe inside, peering through the darkened windows and stuff to see, the first thing you see the red flashing in there, and being an explorer and having a little bit of knowledge about things, that it probably has some type of either an alarm or if it's broken into, some kind of self-destruct mechanism on it.
All right. So I'll go. Damn it! They got a self-destruct alarm on this thing. Let's get the books. This probably isn't worth it.
Let's move on then.
Oh,
I know what
they're quite serious about their property not being stolen.
I know a thing or two about machines. Can I roll something to see if I know how to disable one of those?
Yeah, make a scientist roll, but have a -1 because of the complexity of this. Yeah, you can try it.
Well, 6 minus 1 is 5.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good. You start looking around, as Cindy's telling you about, what she discovered, and you seem like this thing is pretty well equipped. And whatever is protecting this thing is something you've never seen before, and you're not sure. You don't. You feel pretty uneasy with your role. You feel pretty uneasy about trying it. But if you fail, that it probably would bring doom and death to all of you. But it's something you've never seen before, where it's protected.
Yeah, I frown, I back away, and I say, this is some high-tech fucking defense shit. Well, I don't want to fuck with this
Why are
vehicle, and honestly, I don't want to fuck with whoever has it.
What do you get out of it? I mean, what do you see here?
She points out a few things. Well, that is... I don't even know what that thing does. And that over there is senses whether or not that's disconnected. So you'd have to disconnect that, and that, and that, and that all simultaneously, or the thing will explode.
It seems like a big bomb then.
Well,
Let's move safely away from this strange vehicle.
I agree. Then we'll head back to the car. We'll just need to be on the lookout for them, just in case they want to, in case they are rivals, as was suggested. I'm gonna get back in our truck.
Yeah, as you four head back to your vehicle, everybody make an explorer roll at -1, except our explorer Cindy. You can have your, but everybody else make an explorer roll at -1.
I got 3.
So I rolled a 5.
All
I
right,
rolled a
Cindy,
1, so I got a 0.
Cindy passes. What about Robin?
Oh, there's literally no point for me to roll. I cannot succeed.
All right, Cindy,
I-
as y'all starting to walk back to your deal, you hear a like a buzzing sound, and it's you haven't heard it before when you get out, and you look up, and coming from behind your vehicle is like this large cloud. Appears to be this large cloud it's kind of a greenish mist looking stuff. And you see, like in the cloud itself, this little red flashing, and it looks like just a mini storm cloud, but you know that it's not a storm cloud, and it's approaching pretty fast.
All right, so I pointed out, okay, whoa, what is going on here? Do I think that I can get to the vehicle and then get away from it? Or if I run to the vehicle, it probably will beat me there, based on this.
Everybody, I tell you what, everybody make a physical, a fighter roll. Standard, except our fighter gets their +1, and to see if we can get back to the vehicle in time.
Okay, so knowing that that it would be hard, I'm assuming, and I have 4 in fighter, I am not going to do that because I don't think I'll make it. So I'm going to run the other way.
So you're going to run kind of back towards where that other vehicle was.
Yeah,
back
I'm going
that
to run
way?
toward the building. I'm going to look for.
All right. What about the other 3?
Can I make a science roll before it gets here to see if I can determine what this cloud is?
You can try, but you would also know that determining this, that you won't. If you do that, you're not going to have a chance to get away from it. It'll be on top of you as soon as you maybe have determined what it is. But you can do that. I mean, that's your choice. You can.
I'm just
Doc
going to follow
Rancher.
Cindy then. If I see Cindy run and she's the explorer, I'm going to follow her.
All right.
Yeah, Doc Rancher says, "Harvell, run!" And then he runs after Cindy.
What about our illustrious armored fighter? Seeing your other 3 companions take off running for safety of the building.
Robin's instincts kick in before she notices that they're running, and she starts sprinting towards the car. I rolled a 5 + 1 is 6, so she's gonna get in, open the door, slam on the ignition, and drive towards them. And she presses a button that opens the back.
Yeah. I tell you what, make me another fighter roll, Robin, to see if you can get to him before the swarm gets to him.
That is a 4. Well,
All
3
right.
plus 1 is a 4, so just barely.
Oh man, good.
my
Yeah. Yeah, you ever three, you see you hear the Samson coming and you see the back deal lower down for y'all to jump on just in the nick of time if you want to.
Oh hell yeah! I go
Okay.
yee-haw, and I jump on.
I pant and wheeze as I jump on.
Okay. Yeah, and y'all are secure in the back of it, and you hear the buzzing and the psh as it continues on past. And with you driving, Robin, you see the green cloud, the red beeping off and on. You see it continue on past the Simpson and down the street on past you now.
Can I do a science roll now to determine what it was?
You sure
Or if I can
can.
make an observation?
Yeah, you can do a scientist.
All right.
Could I do mine too?
8 plus. That's an 8 plus 1. Oh, nice. I made an 8, so a total of 9.
All right. Yeah, Dr. Harville, you would know that this, maybe y'all haven't encountered them before. You may have. It's up to you. Or maybe you read about them in a database. But you would know it's a locust swarm. That is some kind of radiated locust swarm. It is just a big green cloud of these locusts that glow and flame red. And, they're definitely dangerous.
Yeah, here we go. I managed to get up and just before we took off. Radiated locust swarm. It says that they march due to massive amounts of hunger. Any organic life is quite susceptible to their attacks.
Yeah, I recognize them as well. I think they're called the Hulkhoppers. You don't want to make them mad.
Perhaps a local name. Their scientific name is Swarmicus radius.
Well, I don't know about all that, but Cindy, take the fucking wheel. I don't want to drive.
Yeah, you would know, Cindy. There's a little small pass door between the back compartment of the Samson and the front portion of where you sat that you could crawl through. You don't have to get out and go around.
Yeah, I'll crawl through. I look back to make sure that the men aren't looking at me because I have my cut off shorts as I crawl through the little hole, or that they are looking at me, depending on. So yeah, and I get in there. I take another swig, past the flask over to Robin.
Dr. Harvell is way too caught up in reading about this swarm to look at you.
Doc Rancher, on the other hand, has taken every opportunity to make sure that he gets a full view.
Robin definitely takes a swig and takes the shotgun seat.
Okay. Well, that was weird.
Well, we're on Earth. What do we expect?
It was
true.
weird. I was going to shoot at it, but then I couldn't tell whether or not that would help or not, so...
There are so many of them. I think you would have just wasted your ammo.
Well, I didn't know that it was a bunch of little bugs.
So, do we have any idea which direction we're going to head?
Yeah, I turn back and get back on course, of course. I don't want to.
Yeah, you can easily get back on the street and head back and follow the map coordination to get to the Maston Marley Library of Tomes and Artifacts. And of course, you're passing over buildings. Of course, different type of buildings and, probably different abandoned type stores and stuff. I mean, you would know daylight from probably checking the database and stuff. You would know you probably have about 6 hours before the sun goes down and it starts drastically changing to a colder atmosphere. But, you can go straight to the library. You can stop at some of these other stores, whatever y'all would like to do.
No, I want to head right to the library unless somebody tells me to stop. I figure we get the books first, guys, and then on the way back, if we have enough time, we get some other stuff because I thought I saw a nail salon back there and I need a new dryer.
Yes, I agree. Let's proceed with the main objective first.
Although if we pass one of those machines that puts out the little canisters of fluid, sweet fluid. I want to get one of those.
Okay.
I know the ones you mean. If we find one, I'll definitely break it open for you.
Thank you.
Okay, I take it we're going to the Maston Marley Library, and as you arrive there, and sure enough, you get there, and part of the old in, etched sign into it, you can read part of it to verify that you're at the right location. You get your equipment, and if you check the weather, it still shows the roughly 60, 61 degrees. No signs of any storms or anything on the horizon. Still, definitely a beautiful day so far. And roughly in old time, it would be about, we'll say it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
All right. Well, since we got almost eaten by bugs, I'm gonna put my spacesuit back on. I'm gonna slip it on.
All right.
Mm-hmm. And I grab my camera with the light and light a cigarette. And I say, all right, let's do it, guys.
Yeah, as you four start up the steps, to go into the main building itself, some of the building is crumpled in. You can tell it appears to be like a 3-story building that part of the roof is caved in, but I mean, it still stands pretty well. But as you four start going up the steps, you hear a whoop like that. Everybody make a fighter save for me, or a fighter roll.
4.
2.
Also a 2 out of 4.
It's just a straight roll, right?
Yep, straight
Okay.
roll if we all accept the fighter.
Yeah, I got a 5.
All right, the two of you that failed, you hear the whoomp and you turn around, maybe think it's a swarm or something again. But about that time, impacting into the ground and the concrete of this area is, the fighter would know, but this is a gravity round from a gravity mortar. As it hits and explodes, you two 20 feet away. And as it does, you also will take 3 points of damage. Both the two scientists that failed their roll, and also make me another fighter roll, you two that failed.
Why do you hate us, Tony?
I got 2.
I got a 3 out of 4.
Yeah, you both are. I mean, this thing is definitely stunned. You're very stunned. So whatever happens next, you'll pretty much lose your next turn as you try to get your senses back. You ever two see this, you're able to get out of the way of where this mortar round it impacted, and woof, sent out the wave of knocking them 20 feet away from you two. But y'all both see it happen.
I'm assuming because it's a mortar, I don't actually know which direction it came from. From my perspective, it probably came from straight above us.
Yeah, you have no idea at this point what direction it come from.
Are we physically closer to the truck or to the building?
You would be closer to the building, probably by 20 foot. You
Okay.
would think it'd be 20 foot to enter the building, then
All right.
go back to the Samson.
I'm going into the building. Then. On my turn.
Yep, you can do it right now if you want to keep
I'll
running
run.
to the building.
Yep. I'm going to run and go, come on.
I'm going to grab one of the scientists and drag him into the building. Let's see which one. Evens will be Harville, odd will be Doc Dusty. Even. Alright. She grabs Harville's, the collar of his suit and just books it.
Yeah, as soon as you grab Harville and you'll start pulling Harville towards the building, hearing Cindy say run, you see Doc Dusty over there dazed and not unconscious, but he's pretty well dazed and injured. But you see from a building across the street, you see these 4 humans walk out, all armed with some type of long rifles, and you hear one of them yell at you and go, "Best thing you can do is stop there and let's talk this through."
I say, yeah, we can talk, but I'm getting out of mortar. I'm getting out of where you can shoot mortars at us.
Yeah, if you keep moving, he shoots at you with the rifle. So make me a fighter.
6 total.
All right, yeah, you're able to keep moving with Harville as he shoots the guy that spoke to you. You know, he misses you, and you see a couple more lower their rifles, but you're able to get into the interior of the building where Cindy run in with Harville, pulling Harville. As you three are kind of inside the interior of the old library itself, you see that group of whoever they are. You see them approach Doc Dusty. You know, you see one of them laying down, and it appears that he's trying to do some type of first aid on Doc Dusty. Doc, you will get back 1 HP as you see him kind of patch you up. And as you're coming back to your senses, the guy that spoke to Robin, he looks down at you and goes, "You can tell your friends to come on out here. We can talk this through and come to a amicable agreement between all of us now. I don't want any more total bloodshed here."
The doc shakes his head and says, you shot me, you a-holes."
No, we just scared the living daylights out of you, brother.
What did you shoot us with? Some kind of nuclear weapon? And then he shakes his head and looks around. And who are you guys?
We're just scavengers too, you know.
Scavengers from Mars?
Isn't that where you're from?
That's where I'm from. Where's your ship?
Well, you know, it's on the outskirts.
Well, we're here for some books. What about you guys?
You know, man, we're here for whatever we can take. You know, we take your books, we give you something maybe in return, or we may just take everything and leave you here.
Well, you saw that burly woman in the heavy armor?
That was a woman?
Yeah, she's quite a woman.
I shouldn't have shot at her then, should I?
Well, I bet that she can probably take on all of you. Even though you guys have me, I don't think she really cares about me at all. But anyway, if you are reasonable and if you're not willing to slaughter us all, then I suppose we could probably work together. We're just here for those books.
Well, you know, brother, I don't care about you either. And you see him start pulling out this large knife out of a sheath. It has a glowing green glint, and he goes, "Man, it's all about the money, you know, but you're going to have to tell the rest of them to come on out here where we can talk. I'm not fixing to let one of them shoot one of my brothers here, you know, because I can lob some more of those rounds in here and get all of you off your feet if you want me to."
All right. Not in the face, not in the face.
Tony, if he's going to pull a knife out, I'm going to pop him.
Yeah, because
As soon as he pulls out a knife, he gets shot at.
Yeah, y'all make fighter rolls, then that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, if I see him pull a knife, because I don't hear the conversation from this distance.
Oh yeah, there'd be no way y'all could hear the conversation.
So I just see him pull a knife out, and I'm just going to pop him if I can. I got 3 missed.
I got a 7.
Nice.
Am I still stunned?
You're coming out of it because they pulled you in, so you're out of it pretty much. I mean, you're back to yourself.
So I miss terribly.
Away from the window.
Roll your damage, Alex, for what you did.
Okay. Oh, shit, max damage. Take that, 9.
Tell me how you just blow this guy to pieces then with whatever kind of weapon you got.
Well, he pulls out a knife, and I just blow off his entire arm. Like halfway between the elbow and the wrist. The bullet goes through there, and it just shreds the arm.
Yeah, and it's the arm that's holding the knife. And as you're sitting there, Doc Dusty, that knife falls out of his hand and falls right between your legs, close to your private parts, and sticks into the ground. You see the other 3 that come up there with him. You hear one of them go, "Shit! They mean more serious business than we do." They take off running.
If there's no range, I'm going to shoot him.
Doc Rusty says, "Well, I told you that murder machine's going to just kill you all."
Y'all want to try to shoot them again? You say the
Yeah.
ones that are fleeing? Yeah, y'all can have one more. I'll give you one more round to
I
try to
definitely do
hit
because
one
they
of
have a
them.
mortar. I'm not letting them get away. 4 that time. Haha.
Yeah, roll damage.
Oh, right. I have a D4 damage with my little phaser. 3 points of damage.
You see him stumble, the one you hit, and stumble like he's tripped on something and starts to fall, but he rights himself back up holding his side. You can tell he's in a lot of pain, but he keeps running and gets away.
I say, take that, whippersnapper.
I got a 5 to hit for 6 damage.
Yeah, you finish another one off. The one you hit tumbles down. He doesn't seem to get back up at all.
I yell out to them, "You want to talk now?"
What about Harville? As you see your two friends shooting at these, what would you like to do, if anything? You there, Crystal?
Last round, when I was coming out of it, I just kind of stumbled away from the window, cowarding. So I don't know if I've backed up against something or whatever, but wherever I'm at, I'm kind of just like down at a ball right now, waiting out
Right.
whatever's happening.
Sounds perfect. Doc Dusty, you see the other one go down. It runs away, and you see the other one holding his side as he runs off. And the last one, you see them disappear down one of the side streets.
He picks up the knife that he dropped, the other guy dropped, and looks at it and stows it away, and walks up to the guy that's hurting, and says, "All right, well, now I'm willing to talk."
No, he's fled. The guy that's hurting. All that you got is 2 dead bodies there. The rest of them fled away.
Stop talking to a corpse. Get in here.
Well, these guys surely don't talk much. Does he have anything useful on him that's readily visible?
When you pick up that knife, you notice it had that kind of green radiation glow, or radiating glow. I mean, roll me a scientist roll for it first on that knife, that dagger that you picked up.
I got 2. I actually rolled natural 1 plus scientist 1, so I got 2.
Yeah, you've never seen a knife like this. I mean, of course, you're not a weapons person anyway, but yeah, it looks weird to you. I mean, you've never seen a knife that would be radiating green on the bottom. But yeah, the other guy that if you go, the other guy that got shot in the street, I tell you what, just roll me a percentile D100.
32.
Oh wow, this a fit for what you find a I'm just gonna call it a stun grenade. You find a stun grenade in one of his pockets. And of
And
course
then
his rifle, his rifle's there also.
he picks up the stun grenade and the rifle and looks at the stun grenade and says, "Well, this is probably what ended up stunning me then." And then he pockets it and walks over to the rest of his party.
Yeah, also make me an explorer roll while you're looking at those 2 bodies for one other thing.
Whoa, I got maximum 6.
All right. Hey, you find it's strange, because y'all always carry some type of identification cards or something with you, but you find these guys have no identification on them, maybe who they work for or anything. It's like they're totally some kind of black ops type deal. I mean, they're nothing to identify who they are or where they're from.
No IDs, amateurs. And he returns to the rest of the group.
Yeah, as you're walking, you hear Robin yell, "Run, don't walk."
Dusty's looking all smug as he continues to walk, and realizing that the other guy has run off, he's like taking his time, making sure that he looks nice in front of the ladies.
I shoot the ground about 10 feet away from him.
He goes, "Ah!" and starts running towards you guys.
What does it seem like? It would be feasible to pull the truck right up to the door, like up the stairs, or is that not possible?
Make me a scientist roll to see what you would really think about that, if that's a good idea.
I got a 1.
Yeah, I mean, you think it's a great idea to pull.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna say, listen, we should move the truck closer to the door, so we don't have to walk as far when we walk out with the books. They're probably gonna come back and ambush us. So then I'm gonna like walk down leisurely to the truck and back it up to the door.
Yeah, you lock it into 4-wheel drive or 6-wheel drive or whatever these things would have in this year, but you get it back up to the steps as best as you can, close to the entrance of the library. Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then when I get back, I say, Robin, what kind of weapon were they using? Was it those rifles that did that? That was pretty.
I mean, my character obviously knows enough about guns to know that wasn't a gun, right?
Oh yeah, you would know the first deal if it hit that knocked your two scientists out. You would definitely know it's some kind of gravity mortar that they were using on them, on y'all.
We say, no, that's a gravity mortar. Don't know how many they have, but those things are expensive.
Well, I found this little baby. He takes out the stun grenade and hands it over to Robin. And he says, maybe we could use this to counter that. Who knows?
Robin looks it over and she says, well, it would definitely knock them on their asses, but unless we see them first, I don't know if we'll have a chance to use it.
Well, don't expect me to lob it. Here you go. It's yours.
Robin laughs and she's got like the armor on her chest pops open a little bit and has a little storage space in it, and she puts the grenade in there.
Yeah, and if you do use it later, let me know, and we'll decide. We'll adjudicate what it does then.
All right, sounds good.
It's quiet in the street now. You don't hear anything or any scuffling as the two remaining hooligans run off. You just see them run down one of the side streets, and you don't hear anything from them as y'all move your truck up the steps into the library itself. Nothing else. You don't hear anything. You don't hear any locust swarms or anything going on.
Right. I say we get out of here, guys. Let's get this book. Or books.
All right, you are. I'm gonna just watch the entrance for a couple minutes, and then I'll catch up to you guys.
Okay. I will start looking around for the books.
Yep, let me pull up my map here of the library where I can kind of give you a little directions to it. Like I say, you would know it's probably about a 3-story building is what you're going into from what appears, even with the debris that's left over and everything. As you walk into the main entrance, it's probably, we'll say, 30 by 70 or so. I mean, it's a pretty big entrance of where the main desk and stuff are. The checkout desk and going through the turnstiles to get into there. You don't really see any bookshelves or anything in this area here. It appears to be more like an office and maybe where they did copying and things like that into the main area. And you notice there's a doorway going to the right, and there's 2 doorways back to the left on this first floor.
Is there any like power here? Like if, like you said, there was like a little check-in area. Like, I mean, is that like a computer that was there, like an ancient Earth computer, or is it like a copy of like stuff?
I heard about ancient Earth computer, and then you broke up real bad, Chris. I didn't hear the last part.
I said, or is the check-in and stuff like, is it like physical books, or are they like ancient Earth computers?
Yeah, you would see old computers and stuff at some of these desks and stuff.
Is there any way I could science and get one to working? My thought is I want to get one to working and see if I can type in the name of the book and the author that we're looking for. And then it would be a reference within the library computer. There'd be a reference where it was located.
Yeah, tell me how you're going to do it before you make your roll. Tell me how the details of what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and how long do you want to spend doing it?
I mean, the Earth computers are pretty simple. They consist of only a power supply. Really, maybe they don't too dusty or anything. If power supply working, then these batteries maybe, and if we could get all that going, with this monitor, and he kind of would tap it, go, I can just reference search the library, and we'll have the location of of Charles Dickens and all of the books with this name on it.
Yeah, make your scientist roll and let's see what happens.
Okay. Tinkering with it. And I got a 5 + 1, so it's a 6.
Yep. You're able to, you're tinkering with the old desktop machine sitting there and stuff, and it flashes on enough, and it seems like it connects straight to the tablet, the tablet that you carry, and it displays up there. You see a display, it says Master and Marley Library search function pops up on your tablet.
Okay, nice. So I don't want to risk trying to download it because I don't want the hard drive to function as much as it doesn't need to. So I'm just going to quickly do the reference check, and then if there's time, I'll quickly try and download this system.
Yeah, you type in Dickens,
Leftover.
search for Charles Dickens, and you see a lot of under DIC, under the fiction category and stuff that you find most of it's going to be under fiction, but you see a couple references to the special collection. It's like notated special collection, and under that you actually see original first copy, special collections, A Christmas Carol.
Nice. Okay. Yep. So is it currently checked in?
All of the books show to be checked in. They're all in the library. All of them show to be.
Okay, great. So I assume the cards didn't change much in the future. So pretty good idea where this book is, right?
Yeah, you would know with with the special collections, it would probably be harder to find. But I mean, you would definitely know the FIC for fiction. That you would just have to go find the appropriate shelving for fiction books and follow where DIC is for Dickens. But you have a special collections, you would think maybe would take a little bit more searching to try to find it.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to save this information real quick, and then I'm going to let everyone know, the book that we're looking for is currently in stock. They also seem to have a special collection edition as well. And that's probably a more valuable copy, of course. I mean, first edition. I imagine that a first edition copy of any book must be sealed in a glass container.
I'm gonna walk over to the I'm gonna walk around the room looking around for any signage, because I'm assuming that the library would have a directory saying where things are, and I want to look for the sign that says special collections, like third floor special collections, something like that.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it says. Special collections area, third floor, pass needed.
Okay. So I say, I think, using my computer here, and I just kind of put my hand in front of the sign, that it'll be on the third floor. And then I wink, and I start walking towards the third floor.
Doc Rancher turns to Harvell and says, "So, Harvell, what's your specialty in? Is it library science?"
Science. Yes. I specialize in science.
Library science.
Nope, just science.
And then he nods.
All right. While I'm watching, do I see anything?
No, it's still quiet out on the street while they've been doing that, and you're keeping observation. And no, you hear nothing, see nothing on the street at all. It's definitely quiet.
All right. When I see that they're getting ready to move, I walk on over to them.
All right, Cindy, you want to go straight up to the third floor. Of course, there's no elevators in service. You're going to have to take the stairs. But does everybody else want to go with her or not?
Yeah, I say, Cindy, you take the front. I'll take the rear.
Sounds good.
Okay, they're going up to the specialty section. Yep. Is the fiction section on another floor?
Yeah, by researching, you would see the fiction section itself, that part of it's on this first floor, but it seems like the majority of it's going to be on the second floor itself.
I'm not really trusting the integrity of a lift after it's been on Earth corroding for science knows how long. So I'm just going to make my way over to the fiction section on the first floor.
Yeah, roll me a explorer roll then. As you're searching around the first floor, we'll start with you.
Okay. Oh, crap. Wrong one. Nat 1.
Yeah, you go to the and find the fiction section that's here on this floor, and you go to alphabetical where DIC is, and you don't find any Dickens books at all on the shelf here.
Huh. Oh, how odd. I mean,
What
that's
about
all.
is Dusty? Are you staying on the first floor, or are you going to the third?
Dusty has Cindy's rear.
Yeah. All right, you three will start while Harville's looking on the first floor. You three make it up the stairs to the second floor, and you see pretty much from the stairwell, you see a lot of collections of shelvings of books, and you see like maybe some separate private conference rooms for people to go into and stuff. But you make it up to the third floor, and you come out off the stairwell there and walked in, you see a sign that says ECIA Collect. You can see the rest of it's faded off there. But what really surprises you is the doorway to it. It's very secured. It's a very heavy metal door. It seems to have some type of keypad or something on it.
I'm going to take out my nail file and proceed to pick the lock.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to.
I'm going to call that a fighter roll because it's a physical type deal. So yeah, try that.
All right. So I'm going to. No. Roll the 1.
Huh. Yeah, you're. In fact, well, I'll tell you what. Make another fighter roll at -1 for me.
Uh-oh. 2. So 1 again.
You break your file. It's broke.
Oh, that's very unfortunate. I pout and look at the scientists.
Let Doc Rusty take care of this. Excuse me, Dusty. I'm sorry. So he walks up and he peers into it and tries to determine what sort of mechanism locks this door.
Yeah, you can see that there's like a keypad there. It seems to be some type of old electronic keypad that's on the door itself. That probably somebody had to punch in a code to activate the door to open.
Okay. He tries to remove that panel from the wall using his simple tools, his screwdrivers and pliers or whatnot, and tries to hotwire it.
Yeah, make me a fighter roll for actually doing the physical part of it, of trying to take it apart and look at it. And
he tries to take it out and gets 1.
you break some of your tools too off into it, trying to do it.
Well, we're gonna need some heavy muscle for this.
I grab the butt of one of the rifles and I try and bash the console off.
Yeah, make a fighter roll, physical.
Total of 5.
Yeah, you keep bashing the stuff, the keypad and stuff, and as soon as you bash it off, it lights up. I mean, the inside of it, even though you beat it down and stuff, something activates it and it lights up, and you hear a voice go, "Enter passcode, enter passcode."
When I hear them bashing stuff,
there's no way you'd hear it on the first floor up to the third floor. I wouldn't think. I mean, because we're talking about a large building. Because this is a huge building.
Right quick, I just gotta say, I love them breaking their tools on the door, trying to poke at a keypad.
All right, back to the third floor. You hear the enter passcode.
Dusty tries to hotwire whatever the mechanism that's behind it, and try to use science.
Make me a scientist roll, then. Let's get you into there.
He rolls 4 plus 1. That's 5.
Yeah, you keep punching on it, and you hear it, password correct, and this big, huge metal door just kind of shh as the dust and stuff flies off of it, and it starts opening inward.
I'm going to press a button on my my collar, and one of those like glass globes grows up around my head. I'm still smoking a cigarette though. And then I turn on the light of my camera and I start recording, and we walk in, or I walk in anyways.
I have a question.
Sure.
The way that it opens, do I feel like I could put something in the way so that if it tried to close, it couldn't close all the way?
Oh yeah, you'd be able to find something laying there that you could put to bar the door from closing all the way if it did. Sure.
Great. That's what I do before I follow. Well, I usher Doc Dusty in, and then I follow them.
All right. We'll jump back down to the first floor for a minute with you, Harville. Make me a explorer roll as you're searching around in that first floor still a little bit.
Okay. Since I haven't found any of the Dickens book, even though they're supposed to be checked in, I kind of assume like, oh, maybe they've been rated over the years or something. You never know. So I've moved on trying to find just like old Earth science books, like something that would be just fun to collect.
All right.
But I got another nat 1.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. You still, you find some technical manuals and stuff of different, scientific things. But I mean, all this stuff is so outdated. You just probably laugh at it, thinking, "What? There's no way that happened. This is what happened." I mean, it's so outdated. But you still don't find anything with Dickens. But I tell you what, you are going to find. Roll me a you don't have a D30, do you? Roll me 3D10.
I think I do it in my computer. I think I have one on here.
All right. Well, if you do, you have to throw a D30, and if not, you just roll 3D10.
Okay.
Roll.
6.
Yeah, looking around and stuff, you maybe open up a drawer at one of the desks there or something, and you see an old pair of old rusted, and you wouldn't have some knowledge, I'm sure, being a scientist, but it appears like from the old West, an old pair of iron handcuffs. And you would definitely know that this is some type of artifact that that somebody may would want.
Nice. Okay. I'll say I have like a container or something, like in my backpack or something, like something like it's like a square at first, but then like you unfold it and it becomes like a bucket, and then I'll put those in that bucket carefully and like put the lid back on it.
Yep, that works. Do you want to we'll probably say 10 minutes has passed, between 10 or 15 minutes, I would think, between all this happening, and you maybe heard some light noise coming from the third floor of them scuttling around up there, but do you want to go up to the second floor and continue up there, or do you still want to stay on the first?
No, I mean, I trust the integrity of the building. I don't trust the lift. So yeah, I'll use as long as the stairs seem sturdy and everything, like hopefully not made of like old rotten wood, hopefully made of like metal or something. If they seem stable and all that, then I'll continue up to the second floor and go to the old mathematics section. Math never changes.
Yeah, you get up to the second floor, and you can tell that the majority of this floor is shelvings of books. You notice a few of these conference rooms off to one side, where somebody can go in and have quiet or peace or a meeting or whatever. But yeah, you can tell there's the majority of the second floor is nothing but books shelved.
Okay. Going to the other guys, and on my next turn, I'll make if with your permission, I'll make an explorer roll to see if I can find some good math books.
All right. We'll go back to the third floor as you three enter into the special collections. You notice as you go in, to your right, there's like a bunch of old easy chairs and like a nice looking couch, or what would have been a nice couch at one time, where they had kind of like a sitting area. Maybe someone would sit and read. And you notice across from it, there's 4 tables and desk and all that. You notice a few books piled up on them, but directly ahead of y'all is a cordon off area that's, I'll say cordon off. It's a different room itself with a door. And you notice it has a sign up there, and it pretty much reads a staff entry only. and you can tell it's got another one of these doors that you just come through. Pretty much seems to be the same type of door.
I mean, it's also a heavy metal door.
Yep, you can tell it's pretty. Maybe not as heavy and secured as the one you just come through, but it's got that with the same type of keypad on it.
Rusty says, "I think I have a key here," and then takes out that little plasma knife with the green glow and hands it over to Malkovich.
I look over the knife to see if I recognize why it's glowing green.
Yeah, make me a scientist roll, and we'll see.
I only got a 3.
Yeah, I mean, at first you kind of get a thing in your mind about, yeah, I've seen this, and then you're like, well, no, it wasn't quite like this one. So yeah, you've never seen exactly one like this either.
Is there like a piece of metal nearby? That's not the door?
You know what? Roll me an explorer, and we'll see if you can find you one real quick.
1.
No, you're looking around and you notice the very lack of any metal at all in this room. Besides, the only thing that's is the wooden and leather and cloth furniture.
Well, I use the knife to see if it can cut through wood at least.
As soon as you touch that piece of wood, it just sears like through it, and you kind of smoke or something comes off of it. Yeah, it goes through a piece of wood very easily.
I chuckle to myself and say, okay, this is more or less what I thought it was, and I'm going to see if I can't cut the door with it.
You can cut the door. You can make your fighter roll, and you can hopefully cut through that door.
Oh, nice. 4 exactly. Oh, plus
Oh,
1 is
yeah.
5.
It takes a little time due to the size and volume and security of this door, but you're able to cut through it and gain access with that. Then it dawns on you that this is some type of plasma knife that will cut through almost anything.
I look at the knife and I say, well, finders keepers, I guess, and hand it back to him.
Well, I could charge you and let you borrow it from me for a fee, or you could go out with me once we go back to the Mars, and you could be yes. And then he drums his fingers.
I snapped my fingers and said, you're right, I did save you from being stabbed with this very knife. And she puts it in her pocket.
All right, perfect. As you three make entry into the interior of this large room, into where you hope the special books are, and hopefully find the Dickens books, and the door swings open and the dust comes off of it, we go back to the second floor. Now, what are you going to be doing, Harville?
Sorry, I couldn't get to my mute button. I'm on the first floor looking over ancient.
No, you're on the second floor, remember?
I mean, second floor. Yeah, second floor. Okay, so in my head, first, so this is technically first floor. You get what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
like second floor, it's fine. I'm one floor up above ground floor. There we go.
That's right.
And I'm looking at Earth books, and I want to books are in good enough condition, or make enough sense that they would, be again fun to collect. Probably something I would keep myself. Maybe not necessarily sell, but if valuable enough, I might would sell. So, crap.
You can find you some scientific type mathematics books and all that. Do you want to look at? You notice there's a big, large area of fiction books here also.
Okay,
He finds Abraham Lincoln, the vampire hunter.
Okay. So, okay. If there's a fiction section up here, I guess I can check for Dickens books real quick.
Yeah, make an explorer roll and let me know.
Okay. I rolled a 3.
Yeah, you find some Dickens books here that seem to be standard checkout books. I mean, you would know by looking at them; they're not any kind of special, valuable editions. But these are the titles you will find. You will find David Copperfield. You will find The Haunted Man and the Ghost Bargain, and you find the Pickwick Papers. That's what you find on the shelves there. And while you find those, when you look at
What
the
was
haunted,
I'm sorry, what was the second one?
the haunted man and the ghost bargain, and roll me another perception or explorer roll on that one as you're looking at it.
Okay. Uh, another explorer, you said?
Yep,
Oh, this
as you're
time I
looking
rolled
at
a
it.
4.
Yeah, you find a note, an old yellowed up piece of paper falls out of it. And as you open it up, it appears to be written in some type of old English cursive writing. I mean, you would know being a scientist. I mean, this wasn't modern, but you can make out it says on there. It says, "Beware of the ghost. Some will haunt you forever."
Very profound.
And there's no signature or nothing. It's just that is written in cursive.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to take out one of my containers and put these books in it. Yeah, okay, it was David Copperfield, The Man and the Ghost Bargain, and you said it was one more?
Yeah, the Pickwick papers.
All right, Pickwick papers. I'm gonna put those in chat in just a second. Okay, cool. Yeah, and I'm gonna in that note I'm gonna put in a separate container for myself. Maybe hang it on my wall or something later. I take it as a very profound message from ancient Earth.
Yeah, and you, like I say, you continue. That's the only things that you find in the fiction section that, unless some things misshelved. But that's only Dickens books, Dickens titles that you find on this floor itself under fiction.
Okay, sounds good.
Do you want to continue
Once
looking
I
around?
find those, I was just about to paste all that.
Oh, that's okay.
No, I was gonna. So, let's see. Once I find that, did I find any good math books, or I didn't do a roll on that?
Yeah, I said you did. You may not have heard me. I said you did find some mathematics and mechanical type books you could take with you.
Okay. Well, once I get that done, I'll look for the stairs and make my way up. Second floor above grade.
Yeah, when you reach the stairs, start going up to the third floor. Roll me a D100 again, or percentile, whatever you want to call it.
Okay. Oh, sorry. 33.
Yeah, you start up the stairs, and as you do, you hear like a small noise. And come tumbling down the stairs, right at your feet, is this old pocket knife that is folded in. It's not open bladed, but it's folded into itself, and just tumbles down the stairs and falls at your feet.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know much about paying attention to things, so I'm definitely going to take a second to reach down and grab it slowly.
Yeah, I mean, you pick it up and grab it, and it's cool to the touch. I mean, it's
Okay. I'll slowly flip open the blade and examine, see how well crafted it is.
Yeah, when you open it, it's pretty dull. The blade itself, I mean, you can tell it's very, very old. I mean, it's a well crafted. It says case, CASE on it. But
Nice. Okay, my character has no idea what a case knife is. I got excited. So I'll say, perhaps a great antique of some kind. The blade back up, and I'm going to put it in another, like a smaller container by itself, so that I can maybe clean it up and do some more study when I get back to the house.
Yeah, and I'm going to say, you proceed on up to the third floor, and you see when you come in, you see the big metal door that's been pushed open, and you think that's where the rest of them went. And sure enough, as soon as you enter that door, we go back to them. As soon as they make open into the interior door, you see them.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go.
The first thing I notice is the screen that's been beaten off the wall, and I'm just aghast thinking like, who could have possibly done this? And then I'll slowly.
Yep, and you do.
Have you seen the monitor out there? Someone off of the wall.
Yeah, my gun slipped.
Huh.
So,
Oh.
Harville, what did you find?
I
What are those
see.
books that you have there?
Ah, yes. I did find some other good Dickens novels, my friends, and also an ancient Earth note. It says, "Beware the ghost; some will haunt you forever." Quite philosophical, if I do say so myself. Think I'll hang it on my wall.
Well, that's before people found out how to disperse ectoplasmic activities with attenuation of the phase. But whatever. Let's continue. Oh, what are those books that you have there? Godel, Escher, Bach, Mathematical
I-
Experience. These are faux intellectual books that old Earth folks used to carry around just to look smart.
Uh, yes, perhaps you do not understand how to read the ancient Earth math symbols, perhaps. Either way, I also found these other Copperfield books. I'm sure Miss Smith will be interested in.
Ooh, that's nice.
And he's not saying it like he's trying to come on to her or something. It's just like he understands she likes money, and these are the author. These are also by Dickens, so that's why he says it that way. These are other novels of Dickens we've been asked to recover.
Good, good.
Robin looks up from her cutting just in time to finish, and she pushes the door down and says, "Glad you didn't run into anything dangerous and die on us. Next time you decide to run off, at least warn me."
My apologies. I just felt I would have a little fun exploring. I didn't quite trust the lift. Speaking of which, I think I'll be taking the stairs back down.
I don't think the lift is operational.
I'm pretty sure it hasn't worked in 100 years.
A
Out of
thousand.
character. I thought your character said you took the lift up.
No, I told him that there's the elevator, if nothing works, you'd have to go by foot on the stairs.
Oh, I'm sorry. For some reason, I thought you took the lift. Perhaps that concussion I took, that romp to the noggin I took earlier, did more damage than I thought. I must set up for a med scan as soon as I return.
Here, have one of these. I give you a cigarette.
No, thank you.
Harville, what did you find that note? The one about the haunting?
It was in one of the books. It was in the Haunted Man and Ghost Bargain.
You didn't take that book, did you?
Well, yes, of course I did.
He raises his eyebrows and looks at the book that he's carrying. Well, if I saw that note fall out of that particular book, then I would have dropped it and left it alone. Maybe it's some sort of a warning.
I thought you were a man of science, not superstition.
Well, we also came to conclude that ghosts are real from our previous adventures on Earth, remember?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for the books. I spent just a moment looking at the them having their conversation, and then I'm gonna look for the good books.
Yeah, as you four enter the interior portion of this room, to the area where the special collections are kept, as you four have made entry into it, you start seeing a large, older books and different tomes that you would know would be a lot of different first editions. You find a first edition of a King James Bible. You find old edition of things from the 16, 17, 1800s. I mean, just all kind of valuable books. And everybody make me an explorer roll.
1.
Ooh, 8 plus 1, 9. That is my thing.
4.
Nice.
Cindy, with that high roll, you're looking along in the room here, and sure enough, you see something that catches your eye on the spine of it. And you see a Christmas Carol, and you see the book is old. I mean, it's an old leather book, and the writing on it is definitely faded, but you make that out for sure on one of the shelves.
Okay. I'm going to point it out. Perhaps the scientists have a better way to transport it. I'll say it. This is our book here. Have you got a case for it?
Is it in a vacuum, casing or anything like that?
No, it's just sitting on the shelf. It's right there.
Let's take the book. Dusty reaches in and examines the book to see if it's still sturdy enough to hold.
Yeah, you can. As soon as you look at it and stuff. I mean, it's very old, and you can tell it probably is a first edition. But yeah, it seems to be in very, very good condition still. And in fact, this room seems to be, when y'all come into it, it seems to be in whatever kind of ventilation system or whatever was protecting these ancient manuscripts and stuff. It seems like maybe it was still going. It's still musty, but this room is still things are protected. So yeah, you can tell it's definitely in good condition.
We could just put it in our satchel and return to our spaceship. And once there, we can put it in the vacuum chamber to ensure that bacteria and other microfungal organisms do not eat the pages.
Okay. I'm going to pull out my bag and look for some other stuff, too, that looks valuable and start filling it up. And I suggest we grab some less valuable books as well, just to disguise what we have here, because I'm pretty sure we're going to see our friends again when we go outside.
Was there other special edition books to take?
No, that was the main one that y'all's assignment. The main first edition collectors would be the Christmas Carol.
I mean,
right.
but
I'm going to take the Bible and stuff. Yeah.
Are there? Yeah. I'm sorry, I had to step away for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, Tony, I want to take, which is what I think I was trying to say too. I want to take some of the other first edition things like the Bible.
Yeah, y'all can do that. Who is actually going to reach up and take the Dickens book, though? Has anybody actually got it yet?
Yeah, I thought that Doc
Dusty, did you take it down, Dusty, or were we just looking at it?
No, he was just looking at it.
Oh, then I'll grab it then.
As soon as you grab it,
Mm-hmm.
Cindy, of course, something's going to happen.
Yep.
As soon as you grab it, the door shuts on all of you, and you start feeling the temperature drop and get colder. As it does, you all start shivering from the cold, and the door, looking towards the door of it, is slammed shut.
Wait,
You
the
see
door
this?
cut open?
Cut a hole in the door.
Yeah, we used the plasma knife to cut the hole through the door, right?
Trust me, the door closed on you.
Okay.
The door just swings back shut. And you see this childlike apparition appear, but it seems like it's also an old man with this white long hair flowing down its neck and its back. His skin is more of a child, though, with no wrinkles or anything on it. It's wearing this white tunic, and it's a very fit and muscular looking figure, even though it's an old man, but almost childlike in itself. And it's holding 2 holly branches in its hands. It looks towards you first, Cindy, and it goes, you can hear in your mind, the voice doesn't come out. You think it comes out to all of the party, but you hear it in your mind. Tell me, child, tell me about your past. And I need you to tell me some event from your past. And you're able to you have to just tell this story in front of everybody, Cindy.
Oh, I need to tell it? Okay. So I said, well, I got a lot of stories to tell. And last time when we were down here on Earth, I think I actually saw an alien. Yep. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to scare the guys, but this fella had blue skin and he was about 6.5 feet tall and had 4 arms. Weird. And now you know.
Yeah, the other three of you, you're taking in this apparition that was described, and all of a sudden, you didn't hear the voice speak out as Cindy thinks it spoke out to all of you, but you three hear Cindy start telling this story just out of the blue. Any reaction to that?
That's kind of random.
Science
Excuse-
roll to find out what's going on.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I want to quickly check her vitals, and because I'm thinking she may be running low on oxygen.
Yeah, on Cindy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a D8, and I rolled a 7 plus 1. That's 8.
Yeah, if you run over to Cindy, I mean, she looks at you very weird and stuff. I mean, seems to be everything is normal.
So her vitals register is normal and everything.
Yep, everything's normal.
Doc Rancher or Dusty, he legitimizes in ghosts as scientifically explainable beings. So after reading that note, his mind automatically goes there, and he tries to use whatever he knows about ectoplasmic activities to see if there's anything going on. 2 plus 1, 3.
Yeah, and as soon as you start doing that, you hear this apparition speak out, you think, to all of you, but you hear in your mind, tell me, son, something of your past. So you tell a story of your past there, Doc Dusty.
He blinks a couple of times and looks around and says, so I was back in college when Hannah was wearing this tight blue dress and she wanted to go out there and play pool. So I go with her to this bar, and these burly guys walk up to us and says, hey, you, little shrimp, beat it. So I looked straight up in the air and started acting as if I was hearing the angels. And they thought that it was so weird, they left us alone. And then that night, Hannah started to undress, and he just goes into these very tawdry details about his college, sex life.
All right. Harville, you're over there helping Cindy, checking her vitals, when all of a sudden Doc Dusty's just spurts out and starts talking out of the blue and telling the story.
Yeah, Robin still isn't completely sure what's going on, and she says, apparition. We mean you no harm.
Yeah, as you say that to it, you hear, you think it's saying it to the group, but you actually hear in your mind, I mean no harm either. Sister, tell me a story from your past.
Anything
And it is up to you,
specific-
Robin.
Anything specific you want to hear about?
No, whatever you feel compelled.
She crosses her arms and says, well, when I was 9, back when my father still worked for the shambles of military we had, pirates attacked our ship, killed a lot of the personnel, left anyone who surrendered alive, and I always thought, damn, pirates are so much more badass than the military. And that's why I never joined the military.
Yeah, as soon as Doc Dusty finishes telling his story, his rambling about his college exploits, all of a sudden y'all hear Robin tell this story that pops out of the blue. Harville, You're standing there next to Cindy, taking all this in, and you hear what you think spoken to the group, but you hear in your mind, "It is your turn, dear one. What is the story from your past?"
Hmm. Well, around 30 seconds ago, once that book was picked up, the first edition novel that we came seeking, the shut, and each of my friends began to speak one by one weird stories from their past. There seems to be nothing wrong with their vitals and nothing wrong with the air that we are currently breathing, or were at the time as well. So it was to me as to why this was happening. I figured that perhaps psychologically speaking, they were all having a mental breakdown. The doors having sealed and the room beginning to come a bit chill, but I figured that at least two of these explorers of mine must have been through much worse trauma than this. So it was quite a mystery indeed as to why each person was telling random events of their past. To the present, where you asked me to tell a story of my past, then you the story of how 5 seconds ago the door slammed closed and get what I mean.
As soon as you finish your story, Harville, you see this apparition take both of those holly branches and closes across its what would be its chest area in front of its tunic, and it goes, "Now I will tell you a story of the past." And all of you see visions in your mind of the planet Earth from long ago. You see the fertile forests, the oceans, the blue oceans. You see the population, the people moving about on their daily deal, people with smiles, happiness, the vehicles running up and down the streets of the big city, uh, agricultural machinery out into the country, and you just see nothing but happiness of things as you see these visions run across through your minds. As soon as they disappear, you see the apparition sink into itself and disappear. But as soon as it's gone, another one pops up wearing a green robe and barefoot. A holly wreath on its head is covered in what appears to be icicles hanging off of it. A more of a youthful, long, dark brown hair and a very nice, genial face. At its hip is a scabbard hanging, but no sword. And it looks at you and it goes, "Now it is time for the present." Harville, we'll start with you as you hear this in your mind and you're immediately tell a story from the present.
I am being asked to tell the story of the story that I am is the telling of the present tale that shall be told to you, as I cannot possibly tell you any other present tale than the tale that is presently being told, as I do forth communicate with you.
He looks at you with this genial face and says nothing as it turns towards you, Cindy, and you hear in your mind, "Dear one, tell us about the present for you."
Robin leans over to Cindy and whispers, "What the fuck is he talking about?"
No idea. So, presently, we are standing in a safe that is getting very cold, and in the front of the building, there are soldiers coming to take the books that are rightfully ours. So, we need to get out of here. And I have the book, right? I'm going to put the book in my bag.
All right. You're able to do that as this apparition turns over towards you, Doc Dusty, and you hear in your mind, "Tell us about your present."
I am peeing.
All right, Robin, what about your present?
She still has her arms crossed, but she uncrosses them to scratch the back of her neck, and she says, "Well, presently I'm on a mission escorting some people that I've known for a while to collect books, trying to keep calm while some apparitions ask us stories.
The apparition looks towards all four of you, and you get this vision pops in your minds again as it scans across, and you see the earth itself now, of what it looks like, of what you're on now, with all the ancient stuff left, and you get glances of creatures and things that should not even be if they move in and out of different places across the present earth. Then you catch a glimpse of Mars itself, and it seems like you're back home with the present, and you see the people in the reactor cities in Mars and all that. That scans through and goes through all of your minds of the present. And as soon as that disappears and you shake that off, you look back towards this ghostly apparition. You see a small boy and a small girl appear next to it. 6, 7, 8 years old, they appear. But they're hideous looking. They're ragged, dirty, malnourished, unkept looking, almost feral looking children. The little boy looks up at y'all. The little girl looks up. And you get that shiver and a shake. The main apparition looks at you and he touches the boy's shoulder and he goes, "The boy's name is Ignorance." He reaches over and he touches the girl and he goes, "The girl's name is Won't. Beware of them, for they bring doom." And as soon as you hear the radiation of the resounding word of doom, they all three disappear. In its place takes another apparition as the cold even gets colder and chilled as you start shaking and seeing this figure appear with his deep black robe that is covering all of its body, and it's covered around its face. You can barely see the eyes coming out of it. You cannot tell if it's a young or old face. It reaches out this hand with its finger and it just outstretches and points at all four of you. And you just get a feeling of gloom, a feeling of dread. And it looks and it scans all four of you. It looks towards you, Robin. And you hear in your mind, "Tell me your future."
Robin furrows her eyebrows and says, "I don't know about the future."
It looks towards you, Doc Dusty, as the arm swings around the outstretched finger and points at you, and you hear in your mind the same thing. "Tell us of your future."
How the hell should I know? You could probably kill us, or we could escape, or do something else, but I wouldn't know because I only live in the present.
It scans towards you, Cindy, next as you hear the answers come, and you hear in your mind, wondering what they're saying, but you hear in your mind to tell us your future.
Oh, that's easy. I see a good pedicure and a bubble bath tonight.
Harville, you hear that in your mind as Cindy finishes. "Tell us your future."
I must agree with Dr. Dusty on this answer. I must confer with him. Will he tell you own future, as I cannot see it? I would only hope to be able to safely return to my laboratory, enjoy a few of these delightful old Earth math books, and perhaps enjoy a nice glass of champagne.
As you end your stories, the hand outstretched just points kind of in the middle of all four of you. And you see in your mind the visions come up again. The first thing you see is the same abandoned earth. And you can tell as it speeds through, you can see things change, more decay and more deterioration of it. As you would know that this would be taking place into the future itself. Then you see your planet, the reactor cities on Mars itself. And you see explosions happening, and you see people running and screaming, and you see these ships coming down. and you can tell there's some kind of war going on. And you hear these men that you can tell and see in the vision of there's some type of military uh, encampment place, and you hear one of them go, "We should have never went back there. They should have never went and tried to retrieve those items. It's going to mean doom for all of us." You see this huge ship. I mean, just humongous ship that you've never even seen one before. I mean, this is huge. I mean, has ever been made like this. You see it take off from the surface of Mars, and you see on the side of it, it says Saturn Exploration Force One. As it takes off, it goes into the sky as this war and these battles are going on. Then you see in the future of yourselves walking down the library steps from where you're at and leaving back to go to the Samson. But just before that, you see those two soldiers that run off. You can get a vision. You see them run down a street. You see them go to a third one, and he's packing up this mortar, this gravity mortar, and they're putting it up in there. You hear one of them go, "Them bastards, they killed John, man. They're more dangerous than us. We got to get out of here. Come on, we're not facing them, man. I'm too chicken shit, not me." And you see them packing all their stuff up, and you see them running back down side streets. And the last thing you see is them come around a corner, heading towards where that Jeep was. The last thing you see, again, you see yourselves leaving the library. It's like you went back to where you are now, but you're leaving the library again, and you're going down the steps. And you hear this like a humming, a mechanical, electronical sound that's coming down the street. And you see you four going towards the Samson. And as soon as you do, you hear a and see a large flash. And as you do, the apparition of the black robed figure drops his hand and it's gone.
Wow.
The door swings open too. Sorry, I'm sorry, Crystal. Use lapsing on me. The door swings open too.
I'm sorry. Wow, what a intriguing security system. Oh, I must download these defense parameters and study them diligently. Perhaps old Earth programmers are clever than we first imagined.
I reach down and pick up a couple more expensive books and put them in my bag, and I say, "Okay, clearly," as I light a cigarette and take a shot, we're going to get ambushed. To the roof, possibly? I look at Robin.
Well, if we go out through the roof, I do have a grappling hook. There might be a back exit. I don't know. But we know if we walk out the front door, something's going to blow us up.
Yeah.
Do you believe that this the security system could actually show us the future? Obviously, it was showing us some old Earth footage of some kind.
Well,
Yeah,
Harvell, it is a probability. And if there's any reason whatsoever that such a thing could happen, it may happen.
Yeah, I don't know how ancient Earth has video of me walking outside of this dilapidated building.
Right.
No, your mind simply projected yourself into the correct position.
All of our minds projected, all of ourselves.
Yes.
I don't
Hologram.
claim to.
Hologrammal mind imagery. I'm pretty sure capitalist America was working on something like that.
I don't know if you've ever heard of the only philosophy I've ever lived my life by, but it's called Occam's razor, and your explanation is way too complicated to be real.
I side with her, actually.
I concede to your Occam's razor. I have no evidence of my claims, therefore it is, I suppose, the more complex explanation. Of course, I would have to actually believe that seeing the future were possible to accept yours.
So, through the back door?
What I'm wondering is if it's a I don't know much about weapons, but it seems like that explosion that landed on us came from above, right?
Seemed like it to me. Possibly another mortar, possibly a different variety.
So what I'm thinking is if we're in the roof, we could possibly see our enemy before they see us. That's what I mean.
Robin taps her nose and points to you and says, That's some critical thinking right there."
Yep, I am.
You all want to indulge in this delusion. I shall accompany you.
What I'll say is this: I wouldn't mind for you to walk out there and test our theory, but we need the truck to get back. So
Here, you may need this rifle. He hands the big rifle that he's been carrying, that one that he's taken from the other guys, and hands it off to whoever has a smaller weapon.
yeah, I mean, I only have a little phaser gun, but I'm a shitty shot, so I don't think it matters one way or the other.
He gives it to Robin.
Robin hefts her own gun and says, "Nope, this one's seen me through too much shit for me to trade it for anything else."
But right to the roof from here, don't we? Is there like
Oh, you broke up, Daniel. All I heard was roof out of that. You broke up at the first.
do we see a way to get to the roof? Like, we'll go back to the stairwell.
Well, you know what? Everybody make an explorer roll, and we'll see if y'all can find a way to the roof.
I absolutely might be able to roll a 6.
Oh, nice.
I got 4.
Oh, wow. There's 2 successes. How many more?
I got a 4 as well.
Hey.
I got a 2.
3 out of 4 of you search around enough that, yeah, you find it takes some time to get it open and go up, but you can find access to get to the roof of the 3rd floor. You sure can.
Nice.
I found a collection of books on old Earth tax record keeping, and I'm having a blast reading it.
But before y'all 3 go to the roof, also everybody, let's see which chart I want to use. I tell you what, everybody, we'll start with you, Harville. Roll me another D100.
Oh, okay.
While y'all are searching around and going to the roof.
Okay, sorry. D100. 4.
Hey, that might be good. Let's see. Oh, wow. You find a hat, and God, the best way I know how to describe it is from the 70s, some of the soul funk music, those big purple-looking hats, the real funky psychedelic hats they used to wear. Do you want to talk about?
Like a big pimp hat.
Yeah, you find that's what you find as you're looking around and then trying to find a way to the roof.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna like put that on, and like I kind of like straighten out the brim a little bit, make sure that the feather is up.
Yep, the feather's still good in it. What about Cindy? Roll me a D100.
Okay. That would be 95.
Man, you better be glad you ain't playing Cthulhu, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You find what you would think would be a modernized, I mean, of course not from Mars, but from late Earth. You find appears to be a credit card, but it's a special type of card. And make me a scientist roll on it.
3. So no.
Oh, no. It's some kind of credit card that it's you don't really know much about it right now, but it's some type of credit card that may be valuable, may not be.
Okay. I'll put it in my. Okay.
All right, Doc Dusty.
Here we go. I got 0, 0, and 1, so that's 100, right? Oh no.
No, that'd be a 1, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's 1. Yeah.
Oh wow, you find a pair of binoculars, an old pair of binoculars.
Nice.
What about you, Robin?
I got a 30.
A 30. Oh my gosh, perfect for you. You find another stun grenade.
I definitely look a little perplexed, and I check my case to make sure that I. Oh, this is a different one.
Yep, you find another one, so you've got two of them now. But yeah, y'all are able to make your way to the roof access and get to the rooftop. And we're going to say it's not dark yet, but I mean the light is definitely dim quite a bit since y'all been into the library today looking. I mean there's enough ghost light to see, but not much.
So up on the roof, Doc Dusty uses his binoculars to look around.
Where do you want to look? What are you looking for in any particular area? Or?
He's gonna look to the direction of where that other Hummer vehicle was.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able, it's too far away. You wouldn't be able to see it from where you're headed because it's down a side street. There'd be no way you'd have any kind of visible access to it.
He actually hands the binoculars over to Cindy and asks her, "See if you can find the tracks of those two ruffians that attacked us earlier."
Oh, thank you. I have a pair like this. I just didn't take them with me. 5.
Yeah, if you look for a few minutes or whatever, you can tell it appears that that you start following that side street they run away from when y'all shot at them, and you can actually catch some stuff in the dust and stuff where it appears that they made an exit headed back towards where that vehicle was, going away from the library.
Huh. I'm going to follow it with the binoculars, and do I see them?
No, you don't see them, but you as far as you can tell with the binoculars, as far as you can see that their last from the trail that they left, it appears they were going straight to that vehicle.
Do you see any sign of those mortars?
I do not, but I do see tracks heading, surprise, surprise, in the direction that we, the security system told us.
So they didn't leave a man behind to operate a mortar?
I do not see a man.
Doc, Dusty tries to, figure out the trajectory, looking at the crater and stuff like that to roughly guess which direction the mortar must be.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a scientist roll, but you won't get your +1 on this because it would be difficult, I would think. But yeah, I'll give you a scientist roll if you want to try to
Sure.
perceive that somehow.
I got 8.
Oh yeah, with that, you can tell it come from the way Cindy just described the building from where the guys run to. You can tell it come from one of those buildings over there that they originally ran to when they were shot.
Okay. He points in that direction and says, "Try and see if you can find the mortar over there." I think it probably came from that particular direction.
Right. I mean, I'll look over there. Do I see it?
Yeah, maybe another explorer roll if you look in that building towards that one building.
That time was 6.
Yeah, you look long enough and see that you see maybe some debris that's been moved around, or something that looks fresher or newer. You can tell where they probably had that mortar set up, and it's gone. There's nothing there. I mean, nothing to indicate, but I mean, you can just tell by the area that's probably where they were set up at. But you don't see anybody moving or any equipment there at all now.
Looks like they left. That could mean that either the ghost was only showing us what could happen, or they put a bomb in the truck.
I was going to say it might be a proximity mine.
Yeah.
Do you see anything strange about our vehicle?
I do not.
Let me take a peek.
You look down that way, Robin, towards your vehicle, and all four of you hear that like an electrical, mechanical loud humming. And as you're looking towards your vehicle, coming from the opposite side of some of the streets where nobody was looking, you see this very large, probably 4-foot diameter metal-looking ball that has all these stalks coming off of it. And each of these stalks are taking in things which looks like these eyeballs. And it's moving down the street, and it comes into the main street, and it stops and sees y'all's vehicle, and it just at a fast speed shoots right to the front of y'all's vehicle.
Does it look organic or mechanical?
You would think probably maybe both. But there's some mechanical because you can see the metal shielding on it and stuff. But I mean, it appears that you've never seen anything like this before.
Well, I've reached the conclusion I'm going to stick with. There's an alien down there. Do you guys see it?
Yeah.
Stun grenade. Stun grenade. Lob the grenade.
It doesn't know we're here. Possibly, Doc. I lay flat on the roof, and I say, I wish I had told you guys I saw the alien last time we were down here. Didn't look like that.
It's probably just a weather balloon.
Robin has nothing to say to that. She's just dumbfounded that anyone could think that was a weather balloon.
Yeah. Cindy looks at her flask and then reaches in and gets the other flask.
Robin's gonna army crawl across the roof to go, like, just barely lift her eyes enough to watch the thing.
Yeah, it seems to be centered, 10 foot in front of the front of y'all's vehicle because y'all backed it up to the stairwell. So I mean, it's centered about 10 feet in the street, and looking at the front of y'all's vehicle and all these stalks. You can't really tell. There's 10 or 12 different eye stalks coming off of it, and it's just centered there, and they're all seem to be looking. And all of a sudden, you see the green ray come out of one of them, and it shoots in the front of y'all's vehicle and just covers in a green light the front of y'all's vehicle. It's not doing any damage to it right now, but I mean, it's just this covered green light. It seems to be taking in and maybe trying to find out something about the vehicle.
John recalls a little bit backwards and says, "Okay, I'm a big fan of reading old fantasy novels. I'm pretty sure that that's a beholder."
Whoa, what? Does it have a giant eye in the front of it?
No, you don't. The only eyes you can see on these different stalks that are coming out of it.
No, but it has metal in front of it, so the metal is probably hiding the other eye. It's probably using a heads-up display.
Oh, jeez. That's bad.
Maybe it will go away if we just wait.
Maybe.
Well, we have
It's a
come
good
across
thing
one of those.
Go
Go ahead.
It's a good thing we didn't plug all our information into that truck, so that when it's scanning it right now, it won't get our information. Then I side-eye the scientists.
Dusty side eyes Harvell.
Harvell looks up from his math book. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say something?
Well, we come across one of the possible futures that we just witnessed. If we were down there, then it could have possibly blown us all up already. If that's true, then those two folks that are running to the other car could go back and return with the Armageddon force and destroy our planet, Mars. We ought to hurry.
I say, you lads do love jumping to conclusions.
Well, that's what I learned.
Well, the only place to jump is to conclusions or off the building, and I would rather stay up here.
I agree with that.
There isn't much that they teach you at paleobotany at Martian Community Junior College.
Do we think that we could rappel down the backside of the building and get the hell out of here?
You don't have any equipment to do that?
I have a 50-foot of rope.
I have a grappling hook and 50-foot of rope.
I have a tarp.
Perfect. Oh, no.
Hey,
Oh, I also have 50 foot of rope.
You can use that tarp and just slide down the.
Yeah. Make a parachute out of it.
I forgot that I also do have 50 foot of rope. So.
Is that the plan? Y'all want to try to scale back down the other side of the building?
Well, I mean, I'll look down.
Now I'll take time to record this, satellite or robot or whatever. I'm taking time to record it, getting in everything that's going on. Can I do a science to see if I know what it's trying to scan for? Like maybe I can take out my phone and try to like hack a signal or something from it to see if I can, figure something
Yeah,
out?
sure. I'm gonna take the I'm gonna give you a -1 though to it since y'all have never encountered something like this before. But
Okay.
you can,
All right. I automatically get a +1, so I just set it 0.
yeah, it'll just be a standard roll then.
All right. I made a 5.
Yeah, you've seen that this green ray, it seems to be scanning maybe the properties of the vehicle, trying to figure out, what type of vehicle the Samson is, and how it operates and stuff. That's what you get from it right now.
It seems to be interested in how our vehicle operates.
Dusty looks at it to try and figure out if there's any weapon on it.
On the ideal, yeah, you can make a scientist roll, straight roll, no plus or minus.
Holy shit! I'm getting 8 like a bunch of times in a row. I just got 8.
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as you hear back from Harvard describing what it's doing, and you're maybe looking at it, and you see some of the different stalks moving around, you get a very dread and uneasy feeling, almost that dread and gloom and stuff that come back earlier when you were in the library of the operations. You know that this thing is capable of many things, and some of it would be combat.
He relays that information, and he suggests to the others, we could lob a couple of stun grenades at it while we're out of its sight, and it's going to take a little while for it to climb up here, and if it does, then we could run down the stairs and go into the building. If it tries to follow us, then we have only one entrance for it to follow us through.
Well, at the moment, it hasn't even seen us. Well, you might as well just observe and take notes.
We have seen a possible future where it blows all of us out of a vehicle. I am not willing to take that chance.
I think if we just wait, it might leave.
This is probably true, but I want to get maybe we start tying our ropes together.
I also agree. I would much rather observe it while I have the opportunity.
Yeah, I want to just tie a couple of somebody will lend me their rope. I'm thinking 100 feet is probably enough to get to the ground. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll give you some of my rope.
Yeah, and I'll just get that ready just in case.
All right. Are you going to help Robin? Like Robin, you and Cindy are going to try to get the grappling and the ropes down, I guess, and the two scientists are going to watch this thing. Is that what I'm taking? Is that the plan right now?
I'm watching it. I don't know what the other scientist is doing.
Dusty's actually going into the building, just peeking out of the door.
You want to go back down to the first floor?
No. He's actually where the exit out to the roof. I'm thinking that there's probably a door that leads to that opening. He just goes right behind that door, leaves it open a little bit and peeks outside because he's
okay. Yeah, that's fine. And Harvard, you're kind of looking over the building at this beholder, and the other two are rigging up the ropes. You see the green scanning ray, the ideal stalk. You see another one light up, and it seems to be like a flashing yellow. Harvard, is it starts scanning the whole, starting at the hood of the truck, and it starts going across the whole portion of the truck, and going all the way to the back. As the green one just seemed to be centralized on the front of the truck, but this one goes across the whole portion of the truck, and it gets to the rear. You see two of the red stalks turn red, and you hear shoo, 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 as these two beams come down, and both of them hit the truck, the Samson, and you see the truck just explode. The rest of you hear it, of course. I mean, it's a very.
I would like to quickly. I want to, now that I see that it actually has done something potentially threatening. Can I pick up on a signal and see if it understands that there's living organics around, or is it just destroying the car out of like a just in case thing? You get what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you. There would be no way for you to tap into it to see if it knows there's anything else, any life around. I'm gonna say no.
Okay. What about quickly tapping in to see if it's relaying a message of any kind? Like, see if it's relaying a message outside to like other people,
Oh yeah, I can see
or
if,
is it
if there's a communication stalk or something that's beaming back to somewhere else.
right?
Yeah, you can make a roll on that. Sure, I'm gonna say that's explorer though. Really, I mean it's more because you're trying to perceive and perception.
Explorer.
Yeah,
Do
because
I
you're
get a -1 or anything?
no, just a straight roll, whatever your
All
explorer
right,
is.
I rolled a 4.
Yeah, you're pretty confident that there's no communication going on at all from any from it to anything else.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to say, uh, um, Miss Malkovich, I got to tell you, it looks like this satellite or beast or whatever it is has just destroyed our one mode of transportation. However, it doesn't seem to have any outside sources.
Well, I've got two pieces of good news for you. One, we have another mode of transportation. And two, if it just blew up our thing, it probably will leave.
I can't be sure if it knows we're here or not.
Hmm. Well,
I mean, it could scan the vehicle, believe that we may already be dead, and leave since it destroyed our vehicle, believing that we would be stranded here. Or it could have scanned the vehicle, concluded that there were recent warm bodies in it, and destroyed the vehicle so that it could look for us. I can't be certain which one. Because it scanned it with another yellow light just before it destroyed it.
well, then there are two ways we can go about this. If he's secure at all points, be prepared for him. Or attack him while he is unprepared and appear where we are unexpected.
Perhaps give it uh, one more moment and see if it will leave the vicinity.
If it doesn't leave, I suggest I'll throw one grenade and we prepare a volley of weapons fire.
Yes, well, I do have this small pistol that I was given by Johnson before leaving. He seemed to believe that I would need it. I think I know how it works.
Yeah, it's real simple. You point the tip at it and then you pull the trigger.
Dusty opens the door a little wider and motions to the other guys. Come on in! Come on in!
Robin continues to just watch the thing to see what it's going to do.
Yeah, and if all of you do look, eventually, I mean, you can see the Samson's. I mean, there's still pieces of it left, but it's probably very inoperable at this point. And this thing is staying pretty much in front of the library. All the stalks are moving around. There's no lights or anything coming off of it now, but it's staying pretty stationary in front of the library.
Is there a reason why we're not going to go down the back?
I mean, if we go down the back, we still have an issue that we have nowhere else to go.
We'll walk back to the recovery site. These boots are made for walking. That's what I'll do.
Well, in the wise words of Sun Tzu, if he's superior in strength, evade him. Maybe we should just run away.
Yeah, let's do such.
This thing's flying, right? Or is it rolling?
Yeah, it's flying. It's hovering and flying up in the air, correct?
Yeah. The fact that it's off the ground makes me think it could fly up the side of the building. We don't know that, but I don't want to take the risk. So if it might seem like we're safe up here, but if it can fly, we're not safe.
I agree.
So yeah, I'm gonna look off the side, the back side of the building, and
Start scaling the rope.
yeah, and I'm gonna toss the rope down. And
Whoever's going to do that, make a fighter roll since that's physical. Going down the building, make sure nobody falls.
oh, great. Well, I mean, yeah, I tied knots in the rope. I fell.
Uh-oh. Did you go first?
Yeah.
You're going to take 2 points of damage as you fall and fall into some rubble and stuff as you not quite make it safely down.
Okay.
Who's next?
I'm watching the robot to make sure it doesn't move.
Yeah, it's still just hovering there, in the air and with the Samson's burning.
Okay, I'm going to say, Doctor, it sounds like she fell. Go take care of her.
Anybody else going down the rope?
Robin is going to
Yep,
not
maybe-
gently, but not quickly either, grab Harville's collar and push him towards the rope and says, I'll cover the rear. Go.
I can't climb down here. I'm gonna fall and die.
Harville says, well, if we stay up here, we'll definitely die. I want her quote.
I'm gonna go back
Do
into the
or do
building
not.
and look for an alternative exit.
All right, Doc runs back in the building. What did the other two? You've got Cindy recovering down at the bottom that you can see has been injured. Doc runs back in the building. Robin and Harvey.
Okay, since the mercenary's covering our rear, Harville is now going to grab the rope and attempt to make his way down. He has a cell patcher, so hopefully he can help her if he needs to. Of
Yep,
course,
roll me
she has one.
roll me fighter to see if you make it down safely.
Okay. Roll. Nat 1.
Oh wow. You'll take 2 points of damage too as you fall into some rubble and hurt yourself. I mean, but you were down there with Cindy.
0, because I forgot to recover myself earlier after I got hurt.
All I heard was not recover yourself, Crystal. I didn't hear the first of it.
I said that puts me at 0 because I forgot to do
Oh.
a recovery after I got hurt earlier.
Okay, roll me a death save. We're going to house rule. Roll me a death save and roll me a straight D8, no kind of modifier, and you need a 4 or higher to succeed.
Okay. Roll 8.
Yeah, you're able to you fall out of conscious for just a moment, but you get back to conscious and you can actually read my sheet here. Let me find it. Yeah, go ahead and roll. You can roll your HD, whatever your hit die is for a scientist. You can roll it to regain some HP right now as you get yourself out.
4. So
All right.
I hit the ground. I die for a second, and then suddenly it's like I just awaken feeling better than I ever have in my whole life. It's like,
Well, that's adrenaline for you.
yeah.
Robin, you see your two
And I quickly make
comrades.
my way to Cindy.
Yeah, you see your two comrades down at the bottom, and somehow you see Harville snap back up like he just had a jolt of coffee or something. But you saw Doc Dusty running back in the building, and the door closed behind him.
Well, I am not in the right temperament to try and save an idiot who won't listen to me, so I'm going to climb down the rope.
All right, make me a fighter roll. Make sure you don't slip and fall.
Close. 3 + 1 is 4.
Ooh, okay, yeah. You almost slip at less 10 feet, but yep, you make it down safely and help your other two. We go back to you, Doc Dusty. You're back on the 3rd floor of the library. What do you want to do?
He's gonna make an exploration check to look for a fire exit on the 1st floor, on the other side of the building.
All right, roll me that. Roll me on the floor.
I got 5.
Yeah, you think you find a way that you can get down maybe on the other side. We'll just say the front building, if we're going to say it's facing north, your companions we'll say the south. You're able to find a way that you think you can make it down on the west side of the building.
All right. So does he find the door? He's able to open it up.
Yeah, you're able to find your way out on the west side of the building.
Okay. From the west side of the building, because he knew which side they climbed down on. He's gonna make his science check. I guess it's like super obvious actually, but he's gonna just go around to see them.
Oh, you're gonna go back. You're gonna go back to the back south of the building where they went scaled the road.
Yeah, where they are, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you're able to find them back there as you come up on of them. What they're gonna do? Yep.
Yeah, so he just comes up and says, you guys take too much risks.
Yeah, we did not wait for him. I helped Cindy up and we took off running.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't waiting around.
Yeah, he can see our tail ends as we're sprinting off. He can try and catch up with us, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I would think with time. I mean, I think you would probably. Yeah, I mean, because if y'all gonna get yourselves, you probably see them running off, Doc. You catch their tail lights, as it would be said, as they're running off. I mean, you can catch up with them if you want to, Doc.
Yeah, he catches up with him.
Y'all running down one of the side streets, alleyways of the old city. What do you want to do?
Well, how long would it take us to run to our ship?
Oh, we'll say on foot. You know, it's. I'm going to say walking or whatever, running, 20, 30 minutes, we'll say, to get to where your ship's parked.
Oh, that's way better than I was thinking.
He broke up, so I don't know. So I'm going to assume that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, 20 to 30.
Oh, no, yeah, no problem. We off it.
Yeah, you're able to get back to your ship.
Yep.
The other scavengers have not found your ship and did any damage to it. None of the metal beholders are out there. So, yeah, you're able to get safely back to your ship, and it seems to be waiting for you.
On the ship, Doc Dusty scans for any other ships nearby, especially in the vicinity of the vehicle, the Humvee that they found earlier.
Yeah, roll me a scientist for that because you're using the machinery and stuff.
I got 6 + 1, that's 7.
All the blips on the radar are clear. You don't get any sign of any other type of ship, spaceship, starship, whatever in the area.
Nice. Get the hell out of here.
Yep, time to get the hell out of here.
Where's my backup?
Yep, Dusty punches in the code for the autopilot activation and starts to, begin the sequence for launch.
Yeah, you begin sequence, and the computer comes back on, and it goes, estimated time of arrival at Mars due to a ionic storm will be 4 hours, 11 minutes, 13 seconds.
Yeah, let's punch it. And then he presses a button.
Yep, you punch it, and you make it back to Mars with the artifacts and the treasures. Return to the Sun Ghost Retrieval Corporation and make contact with the Associate Director of Retrieval Items, Benjamin Cartwright. And, as customary, we'll always do closings. Crystal, tell us about how the story's going to end with Harville after you make it back to your reactor city on Mars and receive your payment and all that.
Harville returns to his laboratory with his books. He is happy, and he finds it a little odd, like what he had experienced when he hit the ground, but no one else seemed to think anything of it. So he just carries on. Later, as he is sitting in his desk, a few men wearing black suits and black shades walk in, as well as this other scientist-looking guy. Dr. Harville turns around and says, "Haha, Dr. Johnson, nice to see you today." And the guy says, Yes, Harville. I need you to enter sleep mode now." Harville still has this big smile on his face, but his eyes just close as the other scientist walks over and pulls out his ears, and Harville's face opens up. and he begins to take some wires and plug it into Harville's skull, saying like, "Wow, you took a pretty big tumble there. It's a good thing no one else seemed to notice your grandiose fall. We do need to be more careful on the missions we send you on." And then the screen fades to black.
Yeah, and also you're not obligated to, but if you'd like to make any comments about the system, I mean, what you thought on it and all that, if you want to, you're not obligated to, if you don't wish.
I think it was a pretty good system. I mean, really simple to understand and to get into. It'd be easy to add any kind of like modifications, like you did a little bit of modifying of your own. That I thought was pretty good. But even just you just put a D8 where you want to put it, and D6, D4, easy, simple to make a character and everything. I think just using the book would be cool.
Sounds good. Daniel, how's the story going to end for Cindy after she's paid highly for all this? And if you care to give any thoughts on it.
So Cindy is going to take a very, very long bubble bath and get her nails done. And she's going to spend this money that probably to an average working person would last them their lifetime in about a month, and be out looking for work again, having spent it on the most extravagant items. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I like the premise. It may be a little too simple for me, but I think it's okay.
All right, sounds
I
good.
will try again. I think I'm not sure I'm in love with the 4 or better is always a success. I think I would almost prefer it to be set by the GM depending on the situation. But then we'd have to try it.
Yeah, kind of like have a difficulty based on what's going on.
Exactly. Yeah, because
Right.
I think if you do the base 4, then then have exploding dice, which other systems do. So maybe that's why they didn't do it.
Right.
Yeah, but it was good though. I enjoyed it, and of course, always fun with your homebrew stuff.
All right, sounds good. Yang, tell me about Doc Dusty's ending, and if you have any thoughts on the system you'd like to share.
Doc Dusty finally returns home, and he insists on getting paid upfront because he's got some, payments arrears, and he's happy that he's able to keep the lights on the compound for another couple of months or so. But in the meanwhile, he has to make up for standing up Miss Amples earlier, so he goes to his children back to the compound and says, "All right, boys, get ready for a trip." And then corrals them into Voltes 35, his spaceship, and make sure you serve her right. Wear these uniforms and be absolutely courteous when she comes on board. And he goes up to pick up the date that he stood up earlier, and brings her in blindfolded. And when she's in the actual spaceship, he says, "Ta-da! We're going on a trip to Earth." And they depart on a vacation trip or a sightseeing tour of the Earth, and they depart. And that's his story. As far as the system's concerned, I thought it was pretty straightforward. In terms of the roles being, being able to assign D4, D6, D8, I thought that was, that allowed us to streamline the types of, things that they could do. Yeah, I mean, it's a quick and dirty, quick RPG setup, and I got no qualms about it. Yeah, I think it was a pretty fun game overall.
All right, perfect. What about Alex? How's it going to end for Robin? If you'd like to share any thoughts that you would like to.
How it ends for Robin is that Robin, she goes and gets paid. She actually has quite a bit of money stored away, but she just keeps adding to it and going on missions. She probably could retire, but that would be boring. She actually has a daughter, but she's a little estranged to her because her daughter wanted her to retire, and she basically just said, "No, I'm not going to do that. I don't like." Because daughter's like, "Oh, I'm worried about it," and she's like, "I don't care." This is my life. This is what I'm doing with it. But she has her will set up so that her daughter will get all her money. She also finds a what's it called? It's the nail file. The ends of it are made out of diamonds, so that they're very good at not getting worn down. And she gives that to Cindy. Basically, as a hey, we went through some shit. Now you and me are tight. She tries to go find Doc Dusty, but she never sees him again. And then for some reason she just feels a little bit weird about Harville. Harville didn't seem to believe anything that was going on, and yeah. But in about 30 years later, she dies on Earth, saving a bunch of people.
There's the ghost of Christmas present, or future. I'm sorry.
As for the system, I think it was good. I think it's good for a story-based game where very, very rules light. It was pretty good. I definitely prefer there to be a little bit more rules in the game I play, but this was a fun game, so clearly you can have fun with it.
All right, perfect. Before I tell you how the story ends, quick information. Once again, the system we use tonight is called In the Light of a Ghost Star. You can find it on Drive-Thru RPG. Now it's on there. The inspiration for the homebrew adventure I come up with, of course, come from Charles Dickens' book, A Christmas Carol. The title of this game was Dead as a Doornail. If you turn to the first paragraph of A Christmas Carol, Old Marley was as dead as a doornail. That's where I got the title from. My thoughts on the system real quick before I tell you how the story ends. I enjoy it. I think the premise of the setting of being on Mars and going back to Earth for artifacts and treasures, I love that. I think you could use it pretty much with any sci-fi game. The system, I like the simplicity of it. I like simple most of the times. Sometimes I'm like Alex. I like something with a little bit more skills and abilities too, but I think it's something easy. It's great for a quick pickup game if you just want to grab people that, you can sit here and make a character probably all of you in 5 minutes or less by assigning this. I like it. It's something different to try. I'll run it again. It's very simple and all that. Now to the most important thing, though, how the story actually is going to end. Dead as a doornail. Our group makes it back. They receive their money as they did. They do the things they say they're going to do. As their story ended, we see the Dickens books, and especially the old tome of the Christmas Carol. We see it hand-delivered by some armed security guards of Sun Ghost Retrieval Corporation as they take it to a large building in one of the reactor cities. On the outside of the building, there's a sign, Marley and Scrooge Associates. They take it in, deliver it, pick up, transpire the money that they pick up. A couple hours later, we go inside that building and we scan into a very large conference room with this large conference table. You see two old men sitting there. You see stacks of books and papers and documents piled up. As you get closer and look at most of these books that are piled up and around, you see most of them say Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Some appear to be first edition issues. Some of them appear to be paperback, all various type and sorts of it, hardback, soft covers. And you see them talking amongst themselves, talking about things. And you see the older one look up and he goes, we got to keep doing this. As long as we have a breath in us, we've got to let them know about the fate of Mars if they don't change it soon. They've got to take heed of what the ghost tells them about the future. Yeah, the younger of the two. Yeah, you're right, Scrooge. We've got to keep doing this as long as we've got a breath in us. And he's sitting there, he's listening to Scrooge, but he's also writing something on a piece of paper. He's scribbling on a piece of paper that you can see, and you go down and see it's an old piece of parchment. And as you look down, the handwritten note in this old cursive writing, beware of the ghost. Some will haunt you forever. That is the end of the adventure known Dead as a Doornail. Thank you for everyone for playing.